Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. There has been an announcement by the Delhi government. Expectedly, there is going to be a lockdown extended for another 1 week until 5 a.m. May 31st. Let's hear it from my colleague Sumit Dubey, who's joining me on the broadcast and is going to shed some more light into the other guidelines and SOPs that have been announced by the Delhi government. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Sumit, besides the fact that there is going to be an extension of the lockdown, the Chief Minister has also gone ahead and said that the opening up or the unlock position of Delhi is going to be in a graded and a much slower fashion as compared to the wave 2 that had been witnessed and subsequent unlocking happened of the Delhi National Territory.
Yeah, definitely, Megha. And today, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has come out and he did a press conference. He clearly said that first he told about the numbers, the decline of COVID-19 patients within the last 24 hours, which was at 1,700. So that is a good sign. The positivity rate is less than 3% right now. So Arvind Kejriwal clearly said that Delhi, which is already under lockdown for five weeks, so he extended the lockdown for one more week. He clearly said that if this trend continues, if this sharp decline in the COVID-19 cases continues, then the Delhi government will start unlocking Delhi in the graded manner. So, though he didn't clarify that what kind of graded unlock will take place, but we can assume that first that the metros and some other shops, malls, swimming pools, these are the things which are under strict provision. So the Delhi government may merge to opening of Delhi in graded manner, but till now, for next 1 week, the restrictions will remain the same and the lockdown will continue as it was in the current week for the last 2 weeks.
What about saying, appealing from the central government? This has been his most proactive demand to procure vaccines at the earliest from wherever means possible and provide them to the Delhi government to resume the vaccination process.
Yeah, definitely. Delhi government is requesting the central government for long because, Megha, today no vaccination took place for the category of 18 to 44 years old because the vaccines were not there. Delhi government had no vaccine for the this new category of 18 to 44 years old. So today no vaccination took place in this particular category. Vaccination took place in above 45 years old.
The third wave, because he's gone ahead and iterated some important points. What are the guidelines? What measures and directives are going to be taken? He's mentioned that there's going to be a task force of pediatricians and senior IS officers to ensure the curtailment of the children under the age group of 8 to 12 to 15 especially, to take care of them in wake of any possible spike that may be witnessed within children. In the wave 3 is also mentioned about a committee that is going to be formed, which is going to look into the logistics, availability and medication for oxygen beds and ICU units in the National Capital Region in wake of the wave 3.
Yeah, definitely, Megha. And we all saw that happen in Delhi during the peak of the second wave when Delhi was the worst affected cities of the country of the second wave of COVID-19. And now there are the warnings regarding this third wave, which might target vulnerable groups, which might target children. So the Delhi government is preparing its plan to save the children, to curtail this, the impact of possible third wave. That's why Delhi government is forming the support and doing the making other efforts to contain the third possible wave of COVID-19. So now we can say that the government is believing that the worst is over as far as the second wave is concerned. The peak is over, the cases are declining. And today we saw that the cases, number of cases were so low, like it was less than 1,700 and positivity rate was under 3%. So now the Delhi government is planning on two aspects. One is to unlocking Delhi and second is to save the Delhi for possible third wave attack.
Okay, all right. Khurram Nizami joins me from Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. Remember, they have also gone ahead and extended the partial lockdown or partial curfew, as they go ahead and call it, till May 31st. Khurram, what's the positivity rate in Uttar Pradesh? Also, the fact, have the number of deaths reduced per day?
Yeah, of course, the positivity rate has bettered, and the latest score of corona positive, the latest last 24 hours, less than 5,000. Well, the death is a bit tricky. It's still around 250. The death rate is not coming down, but the positivity rate has better down at less than 5%. This is what the state government is claiming. But the fact is that a case has come up in Gorakhpur where a lab didn't submit the sample for 12,000 people, and that was the reason why the opposition is now craving and saying that this is how the positivity rate has been controlled in Uttar Pradesh. But that has FI laws and the action is being taken. But in common in general, the state government is claiming that now the situation is very much improved and it is almost better and we have defeated Corona in Uttar Pradesh. So after May 31st, we will just see that we are increasing the date or we are just clamping it down or not. But that time will come. But the thing is that now the people are saying that now the more relief should be given to the people, to the businessmen, so that now the cycle of them which has been jammed in the lockdown era should be reopened and should come above. So the best part is that, but the black fungus cases.
Why in Uttar Pradesh, the positivity rate has come down, the number of cases has come down. It is nowhere near what Delhi has witnessed in the last 24 hours. Remember, just about 1,600 cases in the last 24 hours, complete tide from the 28,000 cases that were being witnessed in Delhi on a daily basis just a few days ago. 189 deaths in Delhi, 250. So that's the comparison that you can go ahead and make. Remember, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka are two of the other southern states that are suffering spikes in the cases, the death rate and the positivity rate as well. So we'll discuss that in greater detail. I thank both my colleagues, Khurram as well as Sumit, from Lucknow and Delhi respectively, for sharing their inputs on what the state government are doing on the ground to normalize the situation as best as they possibly can. All right, Dr. T.S. Clare joins me on the broadcast. And Dr. T.S. Clare, I'll come straight to you. The directive that has been issued by the Delhi government to go ahead and extend the lockdown for the next week as well. And there will be a lot of critics going ahead and saying that perhaps a 2.5 positivity case merits opening up of the National Capital Region. How do you witness the graded opening up of Delhi in the coming days and weeks?
Well, I think I almost told 10 days back to my colleague that lockdown will go up to 31st of May. That's what has happened. But I think right now the situation is much better. And as you said very rightly, the number of cases very low now. So I think from 1st of June, we should unlock Delhi, but we shouldn't do the way we did before. See, the mistake we did before was that we assumed, either the administrator, the policymakers, as well as the doctors, that the pandemic is behind us. But now we know that it has come with vengeance. Now we should not at all believe that the pandemic is over. We should unlock in a graded manner, but we have to, we don't open everything. We don't open, parties, we don't open marriages, we don't open restaurants. I think that should take time because the neighboring states still are having cases. So it could come back again from infectivity, come back from those states. See, until and unless we have 70% people vaccinated, I don't think we can take rest in our country as far as the COVID is concerned. So this again, should not be taken as a very happy sign. This is just a pause kind of thing, and we need to be careful in the future.
Dr. Vinayak Agarwal, I'm going to rope you into this discussion. As Dr. Clare said, that this is a pause and a deliberate one at that, because we are all under lockdown. Now, as soon as there is a movement that is witnessed on the streets, at clubs, at eateries, at commercial establishments, the cases are likely to rise yet again, as had been witnessed in March, in February and 2021. What should be the graded approach by the Delhi government to open up the National Capital Region?
So I think that's a very important question. And if you look at the South African model, they had a grading of 1 to 5. So 5 being the most stringent and 1 being the most relaxed, way of lockdowns. And lockdowns are basically like sledgehammer approach. So if you have a grade 5 lockdown, you would have complete shutdown of everything. Everything will be scrutinized. Everything will have a complete cessation of a lot of supply chains. A lot of employment will go away. And we've seen that kind of lockdown is not good in the long run for the economy of the country. The unemployment indices go up. The happiness indices have been shown to dip very sharply with lockdowns. Now, which means we also have seen the other side of liberation, which means if you completely take off the lockdowns and you let the people roam around freely, then the kind of chaos and death and misery that we saw in April and till May, and even now the tail that we're seeing is going to come back. So that means we need a graded approach. We need a central, somewhere in the middle where you completely disallow mingling of people, or wherever there is a congregation of, say, more than 5 people or 10 people, whatever one may decide, they should be completely disallowed. As Dr. Claire said, that any restaurant, marriage halls, etc., wherever there is a congregation of people and where there can be a mass spread of the virus, that should be completely no at the present moment.
Right.
Our services, please understand that most of the people can be treated at home with this virus. However, those who need hospitalization will need it for about 10 to 14 days. So your capacity or the hospital capacity to deal with such cases can be overwhelmed in 1 week the moment you open up. So you have to be very, very careful. We still don't have beds in the way that we want them. There are still a paucity of beds, ICU beds. So I think the lockdown to extend it by a week is a good decision. However, we cannot have lockdowns forever. We have to open them up in a graded fashion. The essential services restored first, and then very gradually over the next 1 to 2 months, we allow the people to come out. And unfortunately, the vaccination part has suffered, and that should have actually been galvanized by now. And we are lagging behind in that, and that's a double whammy.
I think that's primarily.
Megha, if I have to add just 1 minute. Megha, can I add one thing only? That the thing is that the biggest mistake even last time done was unlock, everything is unlocked. See, even now, today we are going through such a difficult time, but believe me, there are lots of people without mask. There are lots of people where mask is hanging in the neck. So that aspect is not properly covered. See, they are going to fine, if somebody is sitting in the car without mask, they'll fine for 2,000. But they don't find people walking in the park or anywhere without mask. So this some kind of strictness has to be given. People should be allowed to work. I think we cannot stop work because otherwise economically, financially, we are going to go down very badly. But people should wear mask every time, everywhere when they are working, when they are outside the house. So that is not still happening, and I'm afraid that people will again. I went to the park today. There are about 100 people without mask. This is not acceptable.
Absolutely. Dr. Anil Arora, any measures that can be taken, because, I would have been under the presumption that because of the 617 strain, which is highly mutant and which is going to multiply at a much faster rate than those viruses that were floating in the air back in 2020, that is going to instill some sort of a deterrence amongst the people when it comes to masking and following SOPs.
Yeah, you see, Megha, we should understand why do we need the lockdowns. There are two basic purposes. First is that we have a significant proportion of the population which is still not infected with virus and is still vulnerable to infection. That is number one. Secondly, we had a very beleaguered, very totally incomplete and ramshackled medical system which is not able to handle the incoming flow of the patient, be it from Delhi or the NCR region. To overcome that, the shortest and the best way to contain the spread of the second peak was to have lockdown. And you have seen the immediate results. As you yourself in your opening statement mentioned, that we have come down from 28,800 cases to almost 1,600 cases a day. The major impact is not because of the vaccination, but it's because of the lockdown. So we sincerely believe that only two ways of preventing yourself from severe infection or death. One is that you have to have vaccination or a mild infection. So one way of restricting the lockdown is that you can allow people who have had a natural infection or people who had a double vaccination, that too if they have to go out for emergency. Answering to Dr. Clare's query that why not strictly enforce it. You see, we recently had a 1 week of strict lockdown by government in terms of police banking upon the people who were not wearing masks, and they collected a sum of about 10 crore people. Now 10 crore of the fine from the people. Now the Delhi police is going ahead with a new drive called Delhi Police Rakshak Week, in which what they are planning to do is, rather than trying to find the people who are not wearing masks, they are giving the mask and trying to educate, which may be good policy on long-term basis.
Yeah.
This is we are gradually
a proactive approach than a violative one that had been followed. I think this goes on, will go a long way in making people wear masks. Fining, but also going ahead and spreading awareness and education among them would be a better state of affairs to bring about and follow. Dr. Vinayak, I'll come to you again, and this time around the wave 3 and the likelihood of it surging in the coming months, and if nothing is taken into account, it might just happen in the coming weeks as well, because children are already experiencing and contracting the virus. Hospitals have seen a surge in those under the age group of 15 years. Getting themselves admitted. There is a task force that the Chief Minister of Delhi has gone ahead and formulated at this point of time, which is going to include doctors, which is going to include senior IAS officers. Their only sole task is to ensure that there are as many number of pediatric beds, institutions, units to accommodate the likely surge that Delhi might witness.
I think it's a very real threat. And one thing which we have learned during the second wave is that nobody is safe. We know earlier in the last year we were saying that children can be the carriers of the virus. They usually have an asymptomatic disease, which is true to a large extent. They're likely to have milder disease. But when they come in hordes, when they come in thousands and thousands of children, for example, I'll give you a very relatable example of class 12 board exams. Now imagine if all these children, lakhs and lakhs of children, were to come down and take exams together. Yeah, you're looking at a super spreader event where not only are these children going to be at risk of infection, but they're also going to take that infection back home and infect the people who have either not been infected already, or even the people who have been immunized may still contract mild to moderate disease and some significant illness in the future. So I think it is very important that the third wave has to be tackled, which is a real threat. You have to start vaccinating at a breakneck speed. You have to ensure that the relative, say, a very grade 1 or grade 2 lockdowns keep going on for the next 3 months or so till your vaccination drives are effective. You cannot make the foolhardy judgment of opening up all, because your economy is going down or your, people are unemployed or whatever. You have to take a balanced approach. You cannot open up the way we did as we did.
Dr. TSK, I'm going to pose the same question to you over here. Graded opening up versus the third wave hitting Delhi. Uttar Pradesh government has already made an announcement that they are prioritizing the parents of those under the age of 10 to ensure that they are vaccinated so that they can be more adept at taking care of their children who might get infected in the future.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, we need to think in that direction if we want to prevent the third wave. Particularly, the third wave is expected to involve more younger generation children, which is very disturbing. In fact, I've seen some of in this second wave, very young people dying, 28, 29, 30, so which is a real disaster for the family. And I know so many families are shattered. So we need to be very proactive to prevent the third wave, particularly to save our children getting infected. I think there doesn't seem to be anything more except two things. The government under any circumstances, by hook, crook, or whatever, I don't know, whatever approach all the companies made vaccine should be made available in plenty everywhere. The vaccination process should be made simple. It should be walk-in. It should be within 1 or 2 kilometers from your residence, and we should try to vaccinate 70-80% of the people by the end of the year, and I don't think we can do that before December, and I think some lockdown should be continued till this number achieved of vaccination, 70-75%. We cannot open everything together.
It's going to bring about a complete downfall of the GDP, which is currently almost non-existent. Dr. Anil Arora, lack of vaccination is what is keeping our country and Delhi economic turmoil continuing to brew.
You see, whatever is happening today is the aftermath of our failing paralyzed policy, as we did not take any efforts to buy the vaccine which was already available in the Western world. If you look at the developed rich nations like US, Canada, Japan, Israel, and the US, they had already raised huge amount of the money for buying these vaccines. When we thought, by thumping our chest, that we are the best pharmacists in the world, we are the best manufacturers of vaccine in the world, and we thought the second wave has gone away, and then we at a snail's pace will be vaccinating our population, till we were beleaguered with this upcoming new virus strain. This is still, we are trying to just handle whatever had happened in the past. Now the only way out, as Dr. Clare said, is that you have to have a combination of the graded lockdown coupled with vaccination speed, which can be increased, as Mr. Arvind Kejriwal today said, that you give more space to all manufacturing vaccine companies in the world. We don't need to have any patent from the Bharat Biotech, that is our own company. We can rope in more companies which can manufacture co-vaccine vaccination in Indian companies. So whatever is available in the world in terms of already prepared vaccine, we should immediately acquire it. Until we have been able to vaccinate about 60 to 80% of the population, we should not lower our guard in terms of lockdown.
On lockdowns and curfews and restrictions, unfortunately, that is going to be the state of affairs in the national capital across the country until the time at least 70 to 80% of the people are vaccinated with both the doses. Dr. Vinayak Agarwal, before I wrap up the show, I'm going to again pick out the kind of discrepancies, confusion is there with regards to the procurement of the vaccines by way of global tenders that are in the process of being issued by state governments versus the government of India, the union government's responsibility of providing vaccines. Do you think, in hindsight, this is a sensible step to have taken by the central government to decentralize the vaccination process and give it in the hands of the state administrations?
Absolutely. I think they should have done that in the first wave itself. When the vaccines were actually, health is a state matter, right? And the center can only provide resources, can provide the money for, boosting that effort. But eventually, at the micro level, it is the state and the state agencies and the primary, secondary, tertiary level of hospitals or the medical system that will ensure delivery or implementation of the vaccination. In one of your programs, I had given an example of polio drive, where we already have an established polio drive and how the infrastructure can be ramped up to reach to the masses. You cannot vaccinate such a large number of population based on certain hospitals or centers only. You have to diversify and decentralize, let even small clinics eventually put the vaccine. That would actually galvanize us, and probably by the year end, we will be able to vaccinate most of the people if we allow even the clinics, etc., to vaccinate.
Right. There was also news circulating about a proposal of having, door-to-door vaccination drive. Although that issue at this point of time has been shelved, keeping in mind the cold storage and other logistical issues that might crop up in allowing for, dispensing of vaccinations, inoculating people sitting at their homes by the health workers, by the doctors, by the medical care officials. I will just like to mention that We need to keep ourselves guarded at this time. Delhi under lockdown for another week until May 31st, likely to have a graded unlock positioning thereon. But till the time vaccination drive continues to move in an accelerated fashion, we'll have to keep ourselves at home, get out of our homes only during emergencies, not allow for any of those gatherings that led to the spike in the second wave that completely lambasted India in such a poor way. And while this is a pause for Delhi at a positivity rate which is lowered to an impressive 2.5%, it is just a halt. And if we open up, we are going to face the repercussions. So the idea is to stay safe at home, wear masks at all times when you are stepping out, even for a minute, and ensure that you are sanitizing yourself, you're sanitizing your hands as within a few instances of having interactions with individuals.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.